Windsor, United Kingdom, September 17th, 2025. The United States President Donald J. Trump spent the day enveloped in pageantry, symbolism, and tightly choreographed ceremony as he was welcomed for his second official state visit to the United Kingdom, an unprecedented honor in modern diplomacy. This evening, Windsor Castle stands at the center of global attention. Its gates and ancient walls are fortified by what has been described as a ring of steel. Security has locked down the skies and barriers are in place around the grounds. The mood is both celebratory and tense as the president prepares for a lavish state banquet hosted by King Charles III and Queen Camilla. The president, accompanied by First Lady Melania Trump, arrived at Windsor earlier in the day in a gilded carriage procession. The carefully staged display marked the beginning of an afternoon steeped in tradition, from a flypast by the Royal Air Force's Red Arrows to ceremonial inspections, music and solemn tributes. Donald Trump is the first American president in history to be granted a second state visit to the UK. The unprecedented nature of this occasion highlights both the closeness and the controversy of the Anglo-American relationship at this moment in time. Inside the castle walls, far from the sight of the general public, the president was received by the Prince and Princess of Wales. The greeting was warm, even casual. Trump turned to Catherine, Princess of Wales, and said, "You look beautiful." From there, the couple joined King Charles and Queen Camilla. Observers noted a surprising familiarity in the interactions, a tone that carried an air of informality between the senior royals and the visiting president and First Lady. As with all state visits, the ceremonial carriage procession followed. Yet, in contrast to tradition, the procession did not pass through the town centre. Instead, heightened security risks forced the parade to remain within the castle estate, weaving its way with a full military escort. The weather, too, played its role. Rain and unpredictable autumn winds meant the carriages were closed, not open as originally intended. Still, the visual impact remained striking. Soldiers in full regalia, guards of honour lining the quadrangle, and the massed sound of military bands. Trump, visibly energised, absorbed every moment. At the heart of the spectacle stood Windsor Castle's quadrangle, a courtyard rich with history and ceremony. The Guard of Honour, with their polished uniforms and gleaming swords, stood ready for inspection. Led forward by the King himself, Trump took the symbolic walk across the lines of soldiers. When Trump stopped to thank the Guard commander, King Charles offered a light-hearted warning, "Watch out for the sword." A brief moment of levity punctuated an otherwise solemn ritual. The day continued with layered traditions. In private, Trump laid a wreath at the tomb of the late Queen Elizabeth II. It was a gesture designed to link this state visit with the memory of Britain's longest reigning monarch, whose passing still resonates deeply in both Britain and the Commonwealth. From there, the presidential couple toured St. George's Chapel, the 14th century Gothic masterpiece that has witnessed centuries of royal weddings, funerals and coronations. Melania Trump, dressed elegantly beneath the brim of her striking hat, was observed quietly admiring the ornate interior. Pausing during the tour, Trump remarked, "A lot of history." As the afternoon progressed, the President and First Lady were ushered onto the castle's east lawn, where a military beating retreat ceremony unfolded. The drills, music and precision marching were meant to showcase the strength and discipline of Britain's armed forces, underscoring the defence ties between the two nations. Guests braved a biting wind, but spirits lifted as the skies filled with the roar of jet engines. The Red Arrows, Britain's most celebrated aerobatic team, performed a dazzling flypast overhead. Plumes of red, white and blue smoke streaked across the grey sky, drawing smiles and applause from the crowd. The spectacle was deliberately tailored to resonate with the American leader. Each detail, from the carriages to the music, from the chapel visit to the aerial display, was designed to project friendship, alliance and respect. Every state visit carries layers of political meaning. This one is no exception. The heightened threat environment around Windsor meant the public was largely kept at a distance. Streets were cordoned off, checkpoints installed and airspace restricted. Yet within the confines of the castle, Trump's hosts ensured the ceremony unfolded with grandeur and symbolism. For the British monarchy, the challenge was delicate. On one hand, extending the rare invitation for a second state visit reinforced the importance of the special relationship with the United States. On the other, it carried the risk of fueling division, as protests and criticism outside Windsor highlighted the controversies surrounding Trump's presidency. Still, The royal family embraced its role, providing what many described as a carefully calculated display of soft diplomacy. The day's events culminate tonight in the state banquet, a highlight of any royal visit. Hosted within Windsor's grand halls, the banquet brings together 160 guests drawn from politics, diplomacy, culture, and the aristocracy. It is an arena where symbolism becomes personal, where alliances are toasted, and where the spectacle of monarchy blends seamlessly with the language of diplomacy. This evening's menu, decorations, and seating plan are all meticulously curated. For Trump, it represents one of the highest ceremonial honours a foreign leader can receive. As one senior royal aide explained, the message behind the banquet is unmistakable. Britain remains determined to reinforce its ties with the United States, even at a time when political controversies swirl around Trump's presence. Trump's Windsor visit is about more than carriages and castles. It is about the projection of continuity at a time of instability, the use of tradition to frame diplomacy, and the delicate interplay of politics and monarchy. Each ritual element carried strategic weight. The wreath at the Queen's tomb linked the American leader to the late monarch's legacy. The carriage ride with King Charles symbolised mutual respect between institutions of power. The red arrows fly past underscored military solidarity, and tonight's banquet, glittering with crystal and candlelight, positions Trump not just as a guest, but as a partner in an enduring alliance. Critics outside Windsor may point to the irony that such displays mask the deep divisions and controversies Trump brings with him. Supporters, meanwhile, see it as affirmation of the enduring bond between two of the world's most powerful democracies. As the sun set over Windsor Castle, the scene was unmistakably regal. Trump, standing alongside the King of England, basked in the grandeur of a ceremony meticulously designed for him. Every step, every salute, every note of music was part of a choreography stretching back centuries, but tailored to one man, one presidency, and one moment in history. Daniel Ralph, BBC News, Windsor Castle.